Yes, sir.
We have so much to talk about today. Welcome back to the Pouring Rain Podcast. I am Bert.
I am Ken Shaba.
Scott Balls, everybody.
And so much has happened in the last 2 weeks. We got
new lighting
to unravel here.
We do have new lighting.
Put my
Someone complained about our lighting, or one of our three people that watched us were like, "I don't like your lighting."
And we listen.
We listened. We listened to you people.
we listened to the three people we got.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean?
Oh man, I got my trusty little.
Hey, notebook.
All right, so supposedly today the SEC filed an emergency action against BK Coin Management LLC. They're from Miami
Okay.
for misuse of misappropriating funds. They from October. What's crazy is the SEC files shit sealed, right?
Okay.
So they've been watching these motherfuckers from 2018 to 2022.
Closer
I gotta
to the
get
microphone,
closer.
son.
From 2018 until 2022, they've been watching these motherfuckers. So they filed like a sealed injunction type of thing.
Okay.
And I feel like every time I turn away, you can't hear me. But all right,
I can hear you.
I got to stop looking
You're
at you motherfuckers. So they took $100 million from investors and they misappropriated funds. They falsified documents. They were, doing the same old fucking
Pull the Murdoch.
vacations, fucking, false documents, fucking Ponzi-like payments. You know what I mean? They even had a fake audit opinion done. It wasn't even done. It was just they just said they gave you one with the statement, with the fake statements. They gave you a fake, fucking audit opinion. So BK Coin is a Miami-based investor. They fucking
Suck.
the shit was, it's an investment advisory firm. So.
Dude,
The shakeout continues. You know what I mean?
it's just, to me, it's so strange to me that with everything we know about all these scams and how easily they break down, that people still attempt them. You know what I mean? You're gonna get caught.
yeah.
Over time, there's no amount of time where you can just keep doing it because the way the markets move, they're cyclical and it's gonna happen.
But it's part of the point of crypto. It's the fucking everything's fucking trackable, man.
Yeah.
And you're fucking learning the hard way. You know what I mean?
I think people's underestimation of greed it plays a part because I don't think they plan on doing it for that long. But then they see it's working and they see they're making more money than they could have imagined.
Yeah.
And
They get addicted to the
it's
lifestyle.
got to be hard to stop
100%.
doing that when you're making so much money and you're like, yo, we just wanted to make a quick whatever.
We think it's endless.
Now we made 10 times that.
With money like that, you affect the market too. So it's almost like you can make whatever you want
Yeah.
if you do it the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the problem is, like I said, is once there's any kind of shakeout that's happening now, where there's a huge dip in the market, it is
word is
inevitable
delicious.
that bad shit's gonna happen in this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So markets are always going to crash at some point. Markets can't be good all the time.
They have to. It's the only way you make money.
Right.
You have to have that fucking
A little
fluctuation.
bit of
You know what I mean?
volatility, yeah.
A little bit of volatility, like you said.
There's gonna be war. There's gonna be bad things that
Yeah.
fucking happen. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, and eventually you're gonna get exposed.
Yeah, man. That shakeout continues, man.
But it's good. It's great because honestly, it's so good for the crypto space because
You're gonna narrow
It's
it
going to
down.
be a lot more
all
pure.
of the
Yeah, you're
all the
gonna narrow
false
it down.
players.
Exactly.
I mean, all the fucking thieves, all the false players, all the people who are out there fucking shit up.
They gone.
Right.
They're gonna be gone, and what you're
Yeah.
gonna be left with is the good ones because they know they can't get away with it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. This shit, like you said, it's trackable, man. You can't hide this shit anymore.
The problem is the U.S. needs to fucking stop dragging their fucking feet.
Dude, they're gonna get left behind.
Yep.
Man. People are gonna fucking jump out of the U.S. dollar. It's gonna fucking plummet. If we don't get these old guys on board with this digital age,
Yeah.
shit's not looking good, man.
It's weird that they were so open-minded to the internet. You know what I mean?
They really weren't, though. I mean, in the
I
beginning,
mean, we led the
The crusade.
this country led the technology boom
Boom, right.
in the 90s. You know what I mean? Between
Facts.
and they were giving out grants
that was only
to these people.
because Al Gore invented the internet, man.
Duh.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
We're confirming it.
But seriously, why? I don't understand why now, especially when it comes to something so important. with currency and
Exactly.
with finance, that they're just dragging their feet along. Like, oh,
even if you just want the United States to stay on top, you should be on top of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want us to be number one in the financial sector of the fucking world.
Right.
You gotta lead, like you said, be a leader in this shit. You gotta know what the fuck's going on. You have to educate yourself. You can't educate yourself from people who are against it. You have to fucking learn and fucking watch it grow. I mean, it's only been around 14 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's only been around 14 years and that it's just 2010, I think.
I think it's the
9. Maybe 8. I don't know.
Math.
I can't back that up.
2008, 2010, same thing. I think it's their inability to not see past the
Traditional ways.
what they conceive to be the negative of it, right? Because all they see is decentralized, which they instantly understand means lack of control, and they get stuck on that, not knowing that, like you said, like if they lead the way, we can have a huge
advantage over the world, period.
Right.
Like, it's just,
but they only see
we can
see
stay
the good
number
things,
one.
right?
You know what I mean? Like, what incentive does another country have by investing in our CBDC if that was to fucking, you know what I mean?
There is no.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
No.
No, it doesn't work. You have
They're going to move farther and farther away from it.
exactly. You have to do shit.
They're already
there has to
doing
be a
it.
bunch of different things going on. Like you said, it's almost like stocks. You have different companies taking care of different aspects, and you fucking, you're investing.
But at the same time, like the whole CBDC thing, like it's kind of funny because I don't know, you probably listened to that Crypto Casey episode, but she was talking about it and she's like, dude, these guys came into a Zoom call without fucking it up.
the porn thing.
Yeah,
Did you
I'm like, bro.
what do they call it? Porn bombed?
Yeah, porn.
Is there
Yeah.
somebody that
It's
just-
called a Zoom bomb, but it's
Zoom
like some
bomb,
dude just throws on like a fucking like porn fucking segment
You have all
on a
these
Zoom call.
fucking geriatric Zoomers. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
The best part was they said they didn't mute the mics right away, so you could hear everybody what
Oh
everybody was saying
You hear everything.
about it. Some guy was probably like, I'm gonna go whack it real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, guy, this isn't hardcore
I
enough for
bet
me.
90% of them whacked it after the Zoom call. Fuck that shit.
This isn't hardcore enough for me.
I like the pee stuff.
Oh, man. That's our crypto news. We don't have a drink for you today because we're trying to support Scott.
Dude, you guys can
during
drink.
the
I don't
Drive
give
March.
a fuck.
No, I'm not doing it.
My,
The
I'm not doing
podcast
it.
is supporting you. Outside of the podcast, we might not support you so much.
We're in there.
I'm doing a sober march.
That's
Or not
right.
a sober march. I'm doing a dry march.
We have
Dry
some
March.
orange and lemon infused water here.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's weird. So this
Actually
morning,
pretty good.
I woke up this morning with a fucking headache, and I felt hungover.
It's
And I'm-
probably the sugars. You're getting
probably
rid of the sugars.
Yeah, I'm like,
You
what
know
the
I mean?
fuck? It could be allergies too because it's really warm. So
It's a-
shit could be
We got some
blooming.
fucked up weather, man.
It could be blooming.
Birds don't know what the fuck to do. Am I building a nest or am I flying south? What the fuck's going on?
Exactly. Still fucking February.
Flying
Or
around
let's start
circles,
March, I'm sorry.
confused.
Flying around circles and confused. They're falling out of the fucking air. That's why. It's not poison. It's
Right.
the world
Yo.
heating up.
Real quick, just back to the crypto space real fast. For anybody who is like the naysayers of crypto and you think that seeing all these scams is proving your point, no. Understand that with every new opportunity, there are going to be new scumbags.
Exactly.
That's
Yep,
all it is.
always.
And like Will said, it's a shakeout. It happens with the best ideas. There's always going to be people that try to manipulate
It's happened with
it.
fucking cars.
Everything.
It's happened with everything.
Right.
It happens with fucking any innovation, anything fucking ever invented has either been improved
Look at email.
or fucking
Nigerian princes.
Goodness.
How many
Yeah.
Nigerian princes did you get emails from? I
Yeah.
got a lot.
Right?
I didn't get that many. I
There's
don't
so
think,
many
but-
of them.
Yeah, in
But-
the beginning, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking it's nuts, man. It's nuts. But
Yeah.
to think that this is somehow supposed to be immune to that shit because it's not the end all be all. You know what I
No.
mean, it's fucking
Right.
and it's in its infancy. So
Right.
Exactly.
stop.
But there's gonna be
fucking
ways
around.
now. It's gonna get to the point where it gets hopefully perfectly regulated, where it's like okay, like
Yes.
it allows for innovation, but also allows for speculation.
They need a team
Right.
Yeah.
working specifically on that shit. A team that knows what the fuck they're doing.
I thought it was funny. Like so I was listening to something. I forget what it was, but they were like, "Oh well, you know, this is like pure like crypto really isn't what like people think it is. It's purely speculative." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker, we're out here trying to make money, I'm not just buying shit because I don't want to fucking make money.
Isn't the stock market purely speculative?
Exactly,
like,
it
You know
is.
what's going on, man?
Fucking eat a dick, dude. Like, what are you even talking about?
You're acting like that's still the only game in town, and that shit's bothering the shit out of me. Like, fucking,
Yeah.
there's shit going on. There's better shit.
Right.
Shit's improving.
Dude,
It always
telling
does.
you, they can't handle like their thing not being the only thing.
Yeah.
They grew up like that. They came into power like that. They've withheld power like that, and they've controlled everything with their system. And now that there's something like this where it's like the internet was a different thing because I guess it was easier to accept because it didn't mean you couldn't control people. Now there was a losing control of information, so people could find out anything they wanted. But I think crypto represents a different level of a loss of control.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, this is
Like a financial loss of control.
right,
Yeah.
right. So this is why they're putting up such a fight because, it's they don't have anything else. Like, they live their lives this one way, and they're about to die, and it's like they're trying to hold on to the last of what they know. And
Man,
they're like,
all you got to do is get ahead of it.
right.
Get
You
ahead
can't
of it.
think like that,
Get
though.
on the train first.
That's why they need younger people, man.
Yo, for real. We need younger people in charge of fucking laws and shit.
Yeah.
Do fucking all kinds of stuff. So neither of you have seen the Chris Rock special.
I watched it this morning.
Did you
Did
watch
you?
it?
Yeah.
You didn't watch it?
Watch it.
Oh,
I was
man.
trying to wait for Leah. So we're gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, I watched it. I was like, I woke up this morning like around
Just
9.
talk
I was
about it.
like,
I don't
Look,
care.
I'm gonna talk about
Just
it.
talk
I'm
about
gonna
it.
I'm gonna try to talk about it without telling you too many
Just
jokes.
no, dude.
And I'm gonna
just
tell you
say 'em.
some of the realest things he said.
Can I say one thing?
Say them all. I don't care.
He's really annoying sometimes.
Chris
It's
Rock.
his voice. That's
Yeah.
all. It's his
He's
voice.
just-
He's always had the same pooky voice. Like yeah, it's always and
I
just
caught myself going on my phone a lot.
really. I caught myself doing that in the
Oh
middle.
wow.
In the
Okay.
middle,
In the
he
middle.
starts talking about like shit that I can't relate to, like sending my kids to the perfect private schools and fucking them going to school in Paris and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff
Okay.
stuff when it happens to all comedians when they talk about
When
like
they get certain
getting
level
rich
of,
and
yeah.
they get certain level of success, they start talking about that thing that the normal people can't relate to. So
Because that's their life now.
that's
Yeah.
where he lost
Right.
me. In the beginning,
Right.
he fucking
That's
had me.
exactly
in
where
the
he lost
middle,
me, yeah.
That's where he lost me. And then at the end, of course, he fucking crushed.
Came right back around with the Will Smith.
Dude, it was
can't wait.
crazy. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to tell you.
No,
but
I don't care. I really
what's
don't
crazy
care.
is
It's not going to make it any worse. Like,
You have
That's
right.
what I'm saying. Just say 'em. I
But
don't
you
care.
have right and left wing medias fucking completely different opinions, right? Of course, the left is fucking offended. What a fucking surprise!
Shocker.
What a fucking surprise! Like what he was saying about. Did you watch the part about the royal racism? Like he can't believe Meghan Markle played the race card.
Yeah.
What I got out of that was that he was just annoyed that she thought anything different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're surprised that they're fucking racist?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but you know what I mean? Like, she was just so like, oh my God, I can't believe the royal family's racist. It's like, he's like, bitch, they basically invented racism.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking.
It's like they invented colonialism.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. So they were like, why did he go after her? Like, he didn't really go after her. He went over, like her. Don't be surprised.
So what if he did?
Like, I'm just saying, like, racism is not. You're not surprised by a fucking royal family being racist. Like, you
Right.
can't be surprised by that. You have to go in knowing that shit's gonna happen.
So,
You know
but
I
what
mean?
exactly did the royal family do that was racist? That's what I want to know.
Well, she had like insider shit.
'Cause I didn't know
remember,
any of that shit.
Like when she was talking about how she wanted to know how dark the baby was, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, black grandmothers do that shit all the time. They look behind the baby's ears to see how fucking black they're gonna be. You know why? He goes, because we need to know how hard their life's gonna be in the United States. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But he's like, you might have different reasons, but everybody fucking
Everyone
has
does it.
has that instilled in them. So it's not like he was just mad that she was surprised by it. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand that.
And
like,
of course, he went after like woke culture and all that shit. But he had some of the fucking greatest lines. Like he was like, "We live in a world where the emergency room is filled up with motherfuckers with paper cuts,"
Yeah.
and it's true.
Yep.
It's like fucking. It was
Everybody
so
goes-
on the nose. And he was like, but he makes a joke. He's like, the kind of people that'll play Michael Jackson but won't play R. Kelly. But it's turned everybody into hypocrites. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, it's true. Like, he was like, you're fucking tweeting on a phone made by child slaves. Like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of my
You're
face with your fucking...
exactly. You're
with your
tweeting
fucking
about
holier
slavery
than
on a
thou.
phone made by slaves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're fucking like
Dude.
you're holier than thou all of a sudden when you're fucking eating shit like everybody else.
Yep.
It's
Right.
fucking stupid. And like, you know, like you had these young fucking reporters, like some lady from the USA Today. Her name is Kelly Lawler. She called him a sad old man yelling at clouds.
Bro, what are you?
Exactly. You're a fucking.
I want to know what she thinks of herself.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you
trying to have-
call yourself?
Are you
If
trying to
he's
have a
sad
difference
old
of
man.
opinion just to have a difference of opinion?
Yeah.
Because that shit was fucking funny. Like he had so many fucking funny ass shit. Like
A sad
He's
old
like-
man yelling at clouds.
yeah, he's like he's talking about he talked about businesses promoting the charity they do instead of the product. He's like they don't even promote the products anymore. And he had a little excerpt like about Lululemon.
Lululemon.
He goes to
Okay.
Lululemon and he sees like we're not racist, we're not sexist, we're not
Right.
And he goes, who gives a fuck about you're selling yoga pants? Like who gives a fuck
Right.
if they're non-racist yoga pants? And he goes, guess what? Everybody in here would rather buy a racist ass pair of $20 yoga pants than a $100 pair
Of
of woke,
non-racist.
of woke yoga
Yeah.
pants.
Because he was in
That's
Baltimore.
so true.
Something to that effect. But it's true. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like I said, you're acting holier than thou.
Right.
And you get shitted on, and then that makes you mad too. Like,
I never understood that in the first place. Like the whole corporations taking these stances, like
Like-
these political stances,
Yeah, 'cause-
is strange to me.
because you don't give a fuck.
Like, how about if you just don't say fucking shit? Like when people ask you, like one of the best interviews I ever saw was Elvis Presley when they asked him about some political shit. And he's like, my opinion doesn't matter. He's like, I'm an entertainer. He's like, what I think is my personal opinion, and I don't need to tell it to you because honestly, my opinion shouldn't matter to anyone but me.
Yeah, but everybody has been
Facts.
saying it since the fucking. They've been saying it for a long time. Like you know, you worship these celebrities. You fucking like, who cares what they fucking think,
Yeah.
man?
Why would you
Yeah.
care? For fucking
Right.
Anybody. Yeah, you gotta cut that out.
anybody thinks.
But it's true. Like roll gold pretzels. Like, why do you give a fuck if roll gold pretzels is fucking
Yeah.
for transgenders or not?
Right.
It's a
Exactly.
shit. And make pretzels.
Right.
They do what they're supposed to do. But he was saying like, you don't even promote the product anymore. You're promoting like yourself as this fucking. You want to be on the right side of history type of shit.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just don't get it. It's so. Do you think you're gonna make more money?
You're not
By doing that?
People either like your product or don't. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about Nike. Like I wear Nikes all the time. I don't give a fuck what their political stances are.
Right.
And they're fucking, you know, they're the top dog for a reason, and they're the fucking sneakers of the shit.
What's
They
funny
always
to
look
me
the
is like
shit. They feel the shit. I don't give a fuck.
the people who like won't.
I just don't care.
The people who won't use or buy products or go places because of their political stance is hilarious to me.
Yeah, like oh yeah, they're Trumpers, so I'm not buying this. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like I've seen it on, and I've seen it on both sides. It was like, oh,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
support. They don't support the police. So I'm like,
Right.
I don't know, man. I just want some chicken.
yeah, exactly.
I don't really give a fuck. If the-
I'm still hungry.
yeah, I'm still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still
It's it's so strange to me that.
It is,
But
and
that shows a deeper problem in this country where people are so tied to these ideologies
Yeah.
that they'll give up like a lot of convenience and and I mean, which isn't the biggest deal in the world, I guess, but they're so. I'm more worried about the fact that they're so tied into these ideologies that they're willing to not
not accept. Yeah.
exactly the fact that this person has a different opinion than me. I'm not,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not gonna talk
I
to
can't
him.
fuck with them.
I'm not gonna fuck with them.
I can't fuck with them anymore.
That's weird.
It's
It is
weird.
It is. It's. I see it with the corporations too. How they all. I think why they're all doing it is because they think, and I think this is incorrect, but they think that if they don't fall in line and do what everybody else is doing,
Yeah.
that they're going to lose market share or lose sales. Meanwhile, people what they forget to realize, and me speaking as a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, I'm nobody yet, guys. I'm just saying my opinion, but
You
it's
said
just
yet.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
right. It seems that people would have more respect for you if you stood up and just said, this is what we believe. We see everybody doing this. We believe this. And even if it goes against the grain of everything, and you really don't, like you say, you don't have to say anything. But like if you could say how you feel just through your actions as a company, like not falling in line where you feel like you have to do like diversity. Like diversity is good, right? Like as a black person that went through, our ancestors went through a lot here. I think diversity is necessary. However, it shouldn't be diversity over merit.
Yes. Exactly.
That's the problem I have, because I wouldn't want to be the guy that got hired at a corporation because they had to fill a quota, but I don't even meet the requirements to truly fulfill the position.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that black guy that got the job because they needed a black guy. You know what I mean? I think most black people agree. You don't want to get that position because they needed you. It's like you still ain't worth shit. You know what I mean? Like
you still late for work. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck. Don't edit that shit out.
No, leave it in. That's why we're doing it.
Leave it in.
I always leave it in. But yeah, man, I think everybody's pussies. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. I think people, institutions, companies, everybody is too soft and is scared to truly say what they believe, whether it's going to be controversial or not.
Exactly, but it doesn't end. Something becomes controversial every other fucking day.
Right. So why don't you just say what you do, what you feel?
Instead of walking on fucking eggshells, you'd be like, all right, like you said, say what you feel or don't say nothing.
Yep.
Just fucking, who cares what you think or who cares what I think? I mean, I ain't saying shit because I don't give a fuck.
Need some jerky.
You, sir.
Passing the jerky. Anybody need more water?
Gracias.
That water is fantastic. How long has that been like sitting,
simmering,
infusing like that?
Just a couple hours.
Wow. Feels like a couple days.
I made it this morning.
It's delicious.
It's delicious and nutritious. Agua fresca.
Agua fresca.
Oh, did Scott send you that thing, or did I? I didn't send it to you, Ken. I don't think so. Where the Spanish guys, remember they were saying all you have to do to offend somebody or sound like you offend somebody is call somebody a vegetable, a Spanish vegetable.
Look at this naranja.
And he's like, pinche aguacate. I was fucking dying. I wish I could remember that fucking podcast. That shit was so fucking funny.
We were doing that work all last week. I'm like, look at this albondica.
Yo, they are like.
That's only when we're fat shaming, though.
That's right.
Look at this meatball. That shit would be offensive in English.
No.
That's
Yeah, you call somebody an orange.
that
it's not
crosses
that
over. Meatball crosses over.
Meatball is now racist.
Or something racist. It's racist, but I don't know why.
It's offensive on two levels. Fat shaming and racist.
Fat shaming. How about why does nobody ever say anything when they call men fat? You ever notice that? It's always women.
Because we're supposed to eat that shit.
Yeah.
You know that.
There's different rules. I mean, and no one wants to actually
To that,
women don't want to admit that.
we're going to light it
completely.
up.
Right.
They only want to.
Since you're doing dry March.
I thought you were going to say since I was doing drugs. Since you're doing drugs.
This isn't
We're
drugs
doing
anymore.
plants.
This isn't drugs anymore. Exactly. You're doing drugs. You guys are big pharma supporters.
Drogas.
He knows how to get us riled up there, Scott.
I'm telling you, man.
Big pharma supporters.
So-
I love big pharma.
Why do you think, Scott, when guys are called fat, like nobody really cares?
Because
I think it's because guys don't give a fuck.
guys really don't give a fuck. We haven't,
don't give a
like,
fuck.
for, since the beginning of time, like, guys have your looks really don't matter as much as your stature in life, like what you are.
Correct.
So we're about to get real, like, fucking
Well, there's no ugly
Andrew
billionaires,
Tate on this motherfucker.
right? There's no ugly billionaires.
Exactly.
So,
So
I mean, I'm not a billionaire. I'm just fat. But I don't care.
it's a simple fact. So Kevin Samuels used to talk about this too, like how, like you're I'm trying to say this in a very political correct way.
Don't be afraid to
Your
offend
worth, no,
anybody,
like
dude.
you're
That's
like
it.
I'm just saying, like, listen, your worth as a man is different than your worth as a woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
women, and Chris Rock actually said this. He's like, Beyonce could have worked at fucking
Burger-
McDonald's
at
or Burger King and
pull
still
Jay-Z.
married Jay-Z. Jay-Z working at fucking McDonald's or Burger King
Couldn't have
could not
pulled
have
Beyonce.
pulled Beyonce. Period. It's because
Facts.
she is a super attractive woman, and that's what really over the top matters for most dudes. Right off the bat, like it's like physical attraction is right off the bat, like whether you, and I shouldn't say it not all the time, but like when you first meet somebody, like you're like, wow, that girl's really pretty,
Right.
you know, and you're like, I kind of want to get to know her. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get to know this.
I want to get to know her.
I want to get to know her.
I think that's the most politically correct things you've said. I
Right.
want to get to know her.
I want to get to know her intimately, like so. But so
I want to see you naked.
and girls, and it's funny, like, and this does not apply to all women. You know what I mean, this is very, kind of blanket statement for men and women. But a lot of girls, like I know I talked to, I worked in a nightclub and I talked to the one girl who fucking dumped a dude because he had cloth seats in his car.
Damn.
Jesus.
Cloth fucking seats. I was like, bitch, you are a
cold.
piece of shit.
That's
I actually said it to her. I was like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry. I'm like, you're a piece of shit.
She needed to hear that.
Yeah. And she was like, she couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, you're a piece of shit. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's really what you care about?
The fact that
You know?
she was surprised that she's a piece of shit for dumping a dude with cloth seats, is mind-boggling.
See, I can't be having this dude pick me up with cloth seats in his car.
Who are you? What have you done
Exactly.
to deserve that? Like, for
Like,
real.
bitch, you drop bottles off at a table.
Like, dude.
What
for
kind
real.
of, you're not saving lives out here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
But just don't act like you are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the hypocrisy in it.
Right.
so
like,
men, like we look at, like, especially like, men, we look at women, especially like, I don't know, I should say, I look at women like in a nurturing kind of sense. Like, when I go out with this woman, am I going to have a good time? Am I not going to be experiencing drama? And
am I going
when
to be respected?
Yes.
Am I going to be
Exactly. When I get home, is it like, and I'm not even saying like, oh, you're gonna cook me dinner, this and that, but is there like, I want, like, you want like someone who's gonna like have like build a home for you? Because I know my ass ain't. I'll fix a home. I ain't building it. You know what I mean? I ain't decorating shit. I'll live in a
Right.
fucking room, a white room,
right.
with fucking a mattress on the floor and
Yep.
a TV.
You can tell we decorated this set, by the way.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're just built differently. We have
people
different
complain,
roles.
Complain about the mess. I think this is pretty neat, but they're like, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, men and women just have different roles in society, and like the fact that people don't want to admit that, and they're like, "Oh, equality, equality, equality." Like, dude, listen, there is equality, but we're also not going to act like they're like. I'm all for equality, but at the same time, I'm not going to act like it's going to be the exact same, like path or like everything's not going to be the same for me as it is going to be for you.
I feel like it's
Right.
equal where it should be.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
good.
there's certain shit that we can't do. There's certain shit that they can't do. Just accept that shit. Like, why do you have to fucking go against that shit? Like, I don't understand. It's worked for fucking hundreds of years.
because women don't want to accept the fact
Are you done?
that
You don't wanna-
what's that?
you
I'm
done?
good.
You're good.
They don't want to accept the fact that for the most part they can be real pieces of shit. Guys do.
So can we?
Exactly. And that's the thing.
But-
guys do. I know dudes who will be like, I'm a fucking piece of shit. Whatever. This is what I
That-
fucking do.
yeah.
It all comes back to accountability.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And it's a shame that you can't just be accountable for your shit. I feel like you would be more respected if you just fucking said, "Yeah, I'm like this." You know what I mean? Instead of trying to like hide behind that. Well, this is one way for men, but not for women. What happened? Crunching, the crunching.
He did the first one
guy's
and
eating.
tried to back up, and it was still ASMR as fuck.
He even chews loud. But another thing, like you were saying, you're about to get real Andrew Tate. Like it really bothers me. Some of these podcasts that trash women, like it almost seems like a form of bullying. This is my explanation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna invite these internet models,
And they're bozos.
that's what I'm saying. But they're internet models for a reason, right? And then you, as a podcaster or an interviewer, you're gonna fucking look up all these random statistics and you act like these women are supposed to know that those disparities, or not
Yeah,
even
kind of like a
not even-
gotcha.
yeah, but
Yeah.
not even like a in a factual sense, like
Right.
they're supposed to know that these things are so far apart, right? But they don't look at that shit. They don't need to look at that shit. They're
Right.
fucking models. Like
Right.
they don't give a fuck about stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they get credit for shutting these girls down. Like they were like, oh, like I can't respect a girl who will date one guy and then go home and bang somebody else because they're not sure about that guy. Like they're just doing a free dinner. But it's like, yeah, but that's just what they do. Like
It happens.
it happens. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like it's a fucking. It's happened to a lot of people. Like you know what I mean. And because they're comfortable doing something one way, like let's say, right, like let's say. I feel like men will readily sleep with random women, right? And I feel like women are more reserved in that way, right? So if they're just dating you, right? And I understand the males, it's all about the male ego at that point. Like I understand that she's trying to get to know you before she has sex with you, while she's having sex with somebody that she kind of knows, but it's just sex. Like I don't know, it's just a different way of thinking. Like you know what I mean? Like we think differently.
Yeah, it's because
And we can't accept that sometimes. Like men, I feel like can't accept that shit sometimes, and it sucks.
Yeah.
And like I said, it all goes back to ego.
Ego.
But you have these podcasters that are fucking trashing women constantly. It's like you know what I mean. You don't have to do that. Like have a discussion. Like don't just fucking hit them with fucking facts and statistics and shit that you just looked up the day before, your producer looked up, or whatever the fuck the case is. You know what I mean? Now you're ready with all these facts and all these questions.
Right.
When they're not, they're not thinking about that shit. They're on your podcast because your podcast is popular. They're not fucking expecting to do their SATs there.
Yeah.
Some shit. Like
Well, that's the thing is, like, if you're ambushing people and they don't really know what they're fucking walking into, it's one thing. But if you willingly sign up for some, because some of the ones that I've seen, like I don't know what the fuck, I don't even fucking know the name
That's
of it.
what I mean.
But this one dude, he has different panels all the time, and it's always about. That's all they're talking about. Like is
the differences between men and women, or
like the differences between men and women, and why a lot of the a lot of it is like these, like you said, like the Instagram models, the club rat girls and stuff like that. But he's pretty much saying how you're actually hurting yourselves by doing this because you're already pretty. You already have everything, that you already know. Like all you have to do is like the man. Pretty much what they're saying is like the men that you're looking for, like with your standards that you have,
don't need you.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't want you.
Don't want you.
Yeah. Like they want this type of traditional woman.
Right.
Who is gonna be at home, gonna be a great mother, gonna build a home, take care of the home, make a home. That's what these men who are all this power need. They don't want that. They might, and I don't know, man. And a lot of dudes with money are fucking scumbags. They might want to go out and bang you, but they ain't gonna take care of you.
No.
Right.
And that's what you want, right? You want to be taken care of,
Right.
Exactly.
because and he's giving them the hard kind of truth, which is like, listen, like you have from 20 to 30, where you're
To establish some kind of value to yourself.
exactly,
Yeah.
especially unless you want to go out and do the work yourself,
Even
which is
if-
fucking do it.
But
Right.
even a lot of them just fail to, and a lot of it's our fault. Like a lot of them fail to fucking develop a personality, let's say, right? Like they're just like, but they're like so, I want to say like drooled over, you know what I mean?
Right.
By most men, like
Thirsty dudes.
exactly, like
Thirst
you know what I mean?
traps.
Like, and I don't know. I wish we could just like agree to disagree in some kind of way, like you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's
Where we're
just
like,
different.
all right, well, I'm like this and you're like that. But they're like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where the hypocrisy comes in, where they kind of fucking flim-flam and try to say that it's not like this, it's like this. No, bitch, it's like that. Just accept it. Like, that's
Yeah. They want to be able to go out, go clubbing, do whatever the fuck they want, and still get this dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, and you have to sacrifice. That's what life is about. Like you need to, in order to get
compromise.
things and compromise, you need to compromise and you need to sacrifice things in order to get shit that you want in life. Period.
exactly.
It's just the way it is. So there might be some few lucky out there who make it happen, but the majority of people don't, man. Like especially men. Men have to sacrifice things. The men have to fucking we're the ones who all the like real responsibility is thrown on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we get the brunt of it. You know what I mean? Can't even fucking say what you're feeling.
Yeah.
That's why we gotta have podcasts. And you make fun of us having podcasts. You see the hypocrisy in that? It's like we're having this podcast to talk about how we feel, and then you're making fun that these 40-year-olds have a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, you're out there showing your ass on Instagram.
Not only that, but when you're saying like men don't share shit with you or men are unemotional, look at why.
Right.
Everything that we try to do that displays some kind of emotion,
Yeah,
you get
vulnerability,
shitted on
anything.
for. You know what I mean? You get shitted on for it. Like you're not manly men because you need a podcast to talk about shit. Like
Right. It's like, where else will we talk about
it's
it?
for us. It's you know what I mean. When some funny shit comes out of
Go
it,
fix
we
your own
try to
car.
Exactly. Your own house.
Damsel in distress. Fuck you in distress.
It drives me crazy.
How about that? The Woody Harrelson monologue.
I
That
heard
everyone
about
fucking
that.
shit on.
You watched it, right? I guess.
Dude, it was
I heard
hilarious.
I heard it
I
was
watched
great,
it. I thought it was
yeah.
great.
Mhm.
He's telling a fucking joke, man. He fucking like you
With a
think-
fair amount of truth in it.
Yeah, like somebody actually complained that you should have seen his manager's face about smuggling the weed from California.
He
to New
laughed.
York. He laughed.
He smiled and laughed. Yeah, I saw his face.
Yeah.
It wasn't awkward.
No, it wasn't awkward.
He knew it was
Everybody laughed
coming.
at everything.
He knew it was
Right.
coming.
The joke about the pandemic was that. It was a joke. You know what I mean? And they were acting like because he had, did you watch it?
No.
Of course not. Everything I send. He was saying like in 2019 he was reading a script about drug cartels and the government getting together with pharmaceutical companies.
I did hear about that.
And it was just funny. You know what I mean? Because he was like, not that he was touting a conspiracy theory, but like also joking that in 2019 you probably would have laughed at a script like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you're like, oh well, maybe.
There's like not really too many things that are where I would be like, there's no way.
Yeah, at this point,
exactly.
It's like nothing.
truth is stranger than fiction at this point.
Seriously, when they say you can't make it up.
We talk about it all the time. Like we're like, what the fuck is going on?
Did you listen to the podcasts, the Rogan podcast with it was like the author who wrote Gray Man?
No.
So
wow.
he's like kind of like he took over. I don't know if he took over for John Clancy, but like he kind of was like along that lines of like books.
Okay.
He did the Gray Man series. But I know he met Tom Clancy, but he was saying, he's like, the shit that I know about that's happened, because he's like real tied into the whole CIA world and everything like that.
Yeah.
And everything. He's like, the shit that I know has happened, I can't even put in some of the fucking books
Right.
because no one will ever believe it. He's like, actually have to think about the stuff some stuff that actually happened in this world. And I'm like, I can't put that in the book because no one's ever going to believe it, type of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's fucking crazy. He's like, the stuff I have in there, he's like, it's fucking and people are like, this is crazy. There's no way this ever happened. He's like,
There's crazier.
yeah. He's like, most of the stuff I write about are things that have happened. Obviously, he turns it into a whole other story and everything.
Right,
But
Elaborate and exaggerate and all that shit, make it entertaining.
yeah, he's like, you would not fucking believe like some of the, like no one would. But that's now I think we're starting to figure that out now.
Yes.
Like as time goes on with the amount of information
Exactly. Like
that it's afforded to us at this point.
you don't believe in any conspiracy theories?
Right.
Like any?
I believe them all. Almost. No.
I feel like they're not far fetched
Almost.
anymore, right?
No.
No.
Like you're like, all right.
It's like the difference.
Like,
yeah.
Jess was noticing like in commercials, right? Like something as small as this, where they have a product and everybody in the
Mixed
commercial
race?
is wearing. That's
Oh.
also, but
but
Chris Rock talked about that too. But
It's mixed.
everybody's wearing the same color that's in the products. Let's say,
Okay.
right? Like the product has baby blues. Everybody's wearing.
So it's like
some form of
it's like
baby blues.
subliminal messaging
Exactly,
type of shit.
subliminal messaging. Just that little is kind of a conspiracy thing.
Right.
Like these things go
Yeah,
together,
right.
and you put something small that it just becomes a commercial. But something that little, you think that these people that run the world aren't doing something more elaborate.
right. Exactly.
Like there's things done on purpose. You think a certain way on purpose. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things are normalized on purpose.
Yep.
Like it's just it's crazy to me to not believe in any.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
there's
I
a
mean?
lot. There's definitely a lot that are
Especially-
100% feasible.
Especially the ones that have come to light.
Yeah. Well, like the whole Wuhan theory.
Oh yeah, lab
come on,
leak
like,
now.
Everybody was talking about. Even Jon Stewart was like, "Come on, man! Like, how could this be anything but this?" You know, not. And I don't think that by any means it was on purpose.
No,
you know,
Right.
definitely not on
Right.
purpose. But this is definitely made. Like,
100% man-made. All these virologists are saying it from the beginning, and they were getting censored.
Exactly.
You know,
Losing their
bullshit.
licenses and everything.
Yeah, and it ended up like it's the most feasible thing at this point that happened.
Right. And now it's official that, you have these news outlets that, like you said, were silencing people and casting all types of just, disdain on people. Like now, those same outlets are admitting it. It's like, you guys are they do that with no admittance of any wrongdoing.
No, they'll actually put a piece out being like, I think it's okay for we should get over it all.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, no, fuck you. You need to admit you were wrong.
Yeah.
And that's all we really
Now
want.
you want to get over it.
I don't want to,
it.
and I don't think people should. And like Rogan talks about this a lot. He's like, I'm not gonna shit on people who are scared and were calling me a fucking plague rat and this and that, and telling me I'm fucking taking horse dewormer and blah blah blah. He's like, I'm not gonna shit on them. He's like, but I do want to hear him say that they were wrong. That's all I want to hear.
That's it, dude.
Don't sit there and act like, oh, everything's all fucking good now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because instead of admitting you're wrong, you're right. They say, "Oh, why don't we just move on?" Like,
Okay.
let's move
I do
on.
want to move on, but what you need to understand is that like I'm not a fucking plague rat.
Right.
I wasn't taking horse dewormer. I want to hear you say that fucking shit.
Yeah.
I want to hear you say I was wrong. That's it. And that's the biggest thing you can do as a person. It's like, listen, I was fucking wrong.
Yeah, man.
I can't tell you how many times I've been wrong in my life.
We would get
Dude.
along.
What?
We've probably been
Every
wrong
day.
4 or 5 times during this podcast.
Probably.
Right.
Fact check me.
We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're
It's
just talking.
It's so weird how people think it's such a bad thing to be wrong. It's like, where does that even come from? Like nobody.
I think it's a very human thing. Like it
is.
You know, you never want to be fucking wrong about something. Like shit.
Yeah, but it's
Ego,
so
man.
Yeah, it's ego. Yep.
Ego, man.
Got to eat more mushrooms.
It all goes down.
Destroy your ego.
Exactly. Destroy your ego.
Have more
That's
psychedelic
another
experiences.
T-shirt.
Destroy your ego. That is a
The
t-shirt.
the Pouring Raid podcast. Destroy your ego.
Destroy your ego.
Yeah.
It's true, man. It's fucking
Next
crazy.
podcast will be shirtless.
Do a Burt Kreischer.
Destroy your ego. It's true, dude. You can't say anything to offend that dude. Why?
Ooh, Burt Kreischer.
Because he doesn't give a fuck,
Yeah.
and he knows that he's probably a big piece of shit, like the majority of fucking humans.
humans.
I'm not
Right.
even saying men, women, or anything. Like, it's true. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like,
We all have vices. We all have faults.
we all pick
Right.
our nose in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, it all happens. It happens.
And it's okay. That's the thing. Is like it's okay.
It's okay.
And I think that
I'm okay. You okay?
the problem with our especially our political system is that like this is what people can't believe that someone's not perfect. Like when we start talking about when people start going over politics, especially when someone's running and they start digging into their past and be like, oh my God, this guy smoked a joint in 1972
Right.
at
Get him out of here.
at college.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, it's like you act like these people were just like they were fucking came out of their mom's pussy and fucking all of a sudden they're just like a perfect thing the whole time.
Right. Meanwhile, these people, the ones that are talking about them, are the worst people. Like, it's always the ones that talk about people doing shit in the past.
Where they recognize debauchery.
Right. Right.
I know what that looks
Like,
like.
yeah,
I've
you're
done
a
it
pro
a
in this
million
shit.
times.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. Like, why is it so hard to not be like fake, not be a hypocrite? Like, I don't know, man. Just
Why
people,
are you so afraid to not be liked by others?
I'll tell you
By
that's the first time
strangers, by
we
other
get a
people?
politician that talks like that, who is just like a real person who sits down and doesn't give you that like stupid hand bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
like,
just comes
stop.
up there and it's like a normal motherfucker just being
Right.
like, I don't fucking know. Like someone asks him a question, like I don't fucking care. What? That's a dumb fucking question. Fuck off. What do you want? What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear talk about? Like, oh, what do you think about gay marriage? I don't fucking care. Do you? Why do you care about this? This
Right.
dude over here is fucking living out of a fucking car.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
care about gay
You're
marriage.
asking me about that, right?
Yeah, I don't care about that. No one cares this shit. Really, like if you're a true American, you don't fucking care if that dude fucking marries another man.
Facts. That's it.
That's it.
It's true.
You care about whether or not you can fucking sleep in under a fucking roof. You care about if you can have fucking heat. You care about if you can fucking feed your kids.
Yes.
Right.
Those are like the real issues. And I'm telling you, the first fucking politician that comes out and That's all they're like. I don't fucking care about that.
Will be shot.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta
100%.
You gotta know you're risking your life, and you probably won't have it much longer.
Yeah, come in armor.
Because they can't allow that.
No, but I don't even think they would get. They would never get put on.
Right.
You get Elon
That's what happened
Musk
to Tulsi Gabbard.
to build your robot that looks like you, talks like you.
Yo,
You talk like you're
That's-
in a
that's
basement
a
somewhere,
great
fucking
idea.
running the world.
like a actual deep fake as a human.
Yes, an actual.
Don't
human.
mind the man behind the curtain. Oh.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think that the problem is a lot of people, like, I honestly would run for office if I didn't know as much as I know about politics.
It's awful.
And that's the problem. The best people don't want to deal with this bullshit game and this
Exactly.
just
Lobbyists
swamp
and, hey, you
of
want this?
shit that politics is.
House of
Like,
Cards, man.
You got to be willing to fuck up every other part of your life for this cause, and a lot of people aren't willing to do that, and it's understandable. Like, you love your family, you like your social life.
You got to learn how to turn this off. Man.
Yeah. Jeez. But yeah, they don't want to do it. They don't want to deal with it because they know the things that they want to get done probably won't be able to get done. Like they'll have to go through all types of red tape, and you got to do this, or you got to scratch this person's back, or they won't be able to do it for whatever reason. But
It's a good old boys club.
Right.
That's what it is at this point.
Exactly.
You're not making it to anywhere, in any kind of political station, unless you,
as a real person,
as a real person, unless you compromise a
You
lot.
got to be a puppet now.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the game's too rigged.
Yep.
right?
The only person who was able to do it was fucking Trump, and
It's because he had his own money.
exactly,
Yeah.
that was it. Because
I still hate that motherfucker.
He's a fucking idiot, dude. They all are, but that's the problem. Is like, it's
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
dude with the fucking money who could have fucking changed everything came in like a total.
If you
dick.
like Trump, I don't want to talk to you. Really.
That's the thing. Like, I
I feel like that about Biden too, though. I feel like if you like Biden, I don't even know how I got.
But that's what we were talking about earlier.
I just want to know why.
We're like, I don't want to talk to you because you have a difference of opinion. I don't. Yeah, nobody loves Joe Biden. This dude.
I don't love or hate fucking Biden. I don't love or hate fucking Trump. I'm just like, they're just a fucking dude. I'm like, they're just not right for the spots.
No.
Either
Right.
one of them is right for a
Who
fucking,
is,
you know.
man? Who is?
That's the
Yeah,
and that's the
right.
thing. Is like, who is? Who really
Is
is? Like,
there?
who are the best
So-
ones?
So do you think? I don't know about this time around, but like, I feel like after Trump, you have to be a celebrity to run. Like, you have to make a huge impact. Like, if you're not following right now, if you're not following politics, you have no idea who the front runners are in the Democratic Party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have one guy in the Republican Party that you know is going to run. You know he's probably going to win,
Right.
but everybody knows who he is.
You said DeSantis?
No, I'm talking about Trump.
Trump? Oh.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like everybody knows who DeSantis is, but he's another front runner. But
Right.
is he more popular than Trump? Like, do more people know about him? You know what I mean?
I think more people are
So-
comfortable with DeSantis.
So I'm thinking, like you said,
Mhm.
like Trump being the guy that didn't give a fuck about lobbyists and all that because he had his own money. Do you think that's what it's going to be up to now?
Yeah.
Like motherfuckers like Elon Musk, who's fucking. Does he need that on his plate? Like, Jesus Christ, he's all over the place.
I feel like I know some people hate Elon Musk, but I'm
Uh-huh.
telling you, I think he's so focused.
I feel like he has his moments.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
Just
no, but that's the
sometimes
thing
where
is
you're
like
"You're
everybody wants
such
perfection in
an
everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
true. Yeah,
Yeah, I
we just
mean-
talked about that shit too.
And it's like, do the cons outweigh the
That's it.
pros? Like at this
That's
point,
it.
with Joe Biden, for me, the cons 100% outweigh the pros.
Right.
Just the one con.
The-
He's old, man.
He's senile.
It makes me feel
Yeah, he's-
bad. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad when you make fun of him.
Yeah.
That's how old he is.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way he
I feel
walks,
you're
like, he's
picking
got
on-
that-
Like, you
I'm
ain't gotta do that to
I'm
that
not
dude,
saying
bro.
you're picking on your.
He does that old
it's not
man
like you're picking on
shuffle.
the
You're like,
president.
Yeah, he does the
Jesus
shuffle. You're like,
Christ.
Exactly.
he does that. You're like, oh my god, this is the president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Where's
what
the
I'm
show
saying.
of strength, bro?
There is none.
There is
is
none.
none.
He's
Yeah.
old.
I don't know,
And
bro.
you got to get some young blood
doing
in there.
this on
man.
purpose,
We got to
bro.
get some young blood in there.
We're not supposed to look strong, I think, at this point.
I don't know, man. Is that part of the fucking? Is that part of the plan too?
I could go to another place.
Let's go. We're only 49 minutes in.
Let's go. Let's do it. Where are we going?
I don't know if America being seen as like the beacon of strength, as we always have,
could ever be recovered.
Yeah, or if it's supposed to be what's happening. Like, I almost believe that, because I think where we're going is, or the attempt, let's say that, because I can't just say it, because I can't just accept, like, where I think we're going. I can never just say it and accept it. So I have to say where I think they're trying to take us is a globalist society with like a world currency, where we basically are newer, prettier version of slaves, where we're totally controlled. They control where you live, how much money you make, what you drive, if you drive, how many kids you have.
15-minute cities.
Huh?
15-minute cities. All right, know
Right.
where you're going. All right, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think there's a point of America looking strong, because it's not going to be America. I think it's just I think this country is being attempted to be subverted from the inside out into an eventual totalitarian state that will not look like what people have read about the past totalitarian states, like the Soviet Union and such, because it'll look, because how do you get a group of people, how do you get society to buy into something that was the most deadly thing in human history, which was communism? The way you get them to buy into it is to make it look pretty and make it look like it's going to be beneficial to you, to get them to buy in. And then you take the veil all the way. They're already unveiling, like removing the veil, but then you take it all the way back and you say, oh shit, like I'm totally controlled. I'm in this pod, but it's like a nice looking room or a house.
But I'm happy.
Yeah, and then I'll own nothing. And you'll supposedly be happy. Like, that's why I don't think this is not conspiracy, because if there's a person that has as much influence as a Klaus Schwab does, who runs the World Economic Forum, who's tied into every fucking major institution and company, as is factual, if he's saying that and he has that much influence, how could it be conspiracy that they're attempting to do it? If he said it, he says they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, in 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. It's a 2030 plan. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
And I want to know. I want to know who he's talking to.
And it's subtle, but it's subtle.
He's talking to
They're
everybody.
pricing us out of fucking real estate.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is, like, this man is out here, like, Klaus Schwab, it says this out loud. Like, I know he's not talking to Americans. Like, most Americans, like, you're fucking crazy.
He's
you don't even need to be intelligent to fucking figure that out.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'd be like, if you could just go into the ghetto and fucking, like, tell all those fucking, like, the poorest fucking dude who didn't fucking graduate fucking fifth grade, be like, you're gonna own nothing and be happy. And he'll be like, huh?
How the fuck is it? Yeah,
Fuck
right.
you.
Like,
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't.
How many people would own nothing? If you own nothing, you have everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know
that's
what I
the
mean?
scary. Right.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, that's that, and that's the.
You don't have to do any real work, type of thing. That's really what you're selling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You placate to Americans what their desires.
Exactly.
And you say, I'm going to provide all of this for you. And of course, a lot of it's lies. They'll provide it, but it won't be anywhere near what they're making it seem.
No.
It's just, and then once it's done and like they feel like, okay, we have full control now, you will be the most miserable person to the point where you'll want to kill yourself, but you won't even be able to. Because they'll have all the weapons. Like,
you can't own a bullet. You can't own the gun.
So that's why I don't think, like, the American show of strength and us being the strongest is, I don't think it's that big of a deal anymore, because I think that's where they're attempting to push the world, bro.
So you think that's why we don't care if we have that, uneducated lower
yeah, because what's
status.
the difference? That's better.
Yeah,
that's easier.
It's easier.
The more uneducated and fat and dependent and fucking lazy and broke and unmotivated and apathetic that we are as a people, you're so much easily controlled. That's why they don't push fucking being an entrepreneur. They push going to school and then go get into debt and then buy this and get into more debt. That's a form of control. You got to listen to a motherfucker who you owe money to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's a reason that like basic finance and basic like
isn't taught.
Bookkeeping, like all that stuff isn't taught in high school.
Right. Like, why would you not teach that?
Yeah,
if
like,
you really want the success of your people. And that small business is the backbone of America, which it is. That's the fuck it is. But we're not pushing that. We're pushing go be a drone for any company and do this, get into debt, watch TV, fucking do, you know what I mean? It's like you don't see commercials for anything that's proactive. You see commercials for fast food, for depression medicines. You're right. Grubhub. Like anything that's going to make you lazy or fat or more uneducated. Like
even meal prepping services.
Right.
Now you don't even have to do that. Like you don't even have to cook your own food. I can bring you enough food for the week to your house.
Right.
3 squares a day.
Yeah.
You throw it in the freezer, you throw it in or whatever, or I send you all the ingredients. I don't know what fucking that one is, HelloFresh or whatever the fuck.
Right.
One where you do cook yourself, but you don't need to fucking go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to you don't even need to think about dinner. And I know you think of it's small and it gives us more time, but more time for what?
Yeah. Like
like you said, more time to watch TV.
Yeah.
More time to you're not gonna spend more time with your kids. You're gonna spend more time on the fucking phone. Like,
right.
It's like it's
like they push everything. They're telling you, man. Like this is why I get so mad when people think shit is conspiracy. It's like, listen, all you got to do is just look around. Like, cause, and I get it. You're in your bubble. You probably don't like your life. You're in the zombie state. You work. You go. You come home. Or you pick up the kids. You make dinner. You don't like the person you live with. You go to sleep. You wake up. You do it again. And that's so fucking sad, but I know it's reality for so many people. But nobody within that, and it might not be you're unhappy. You just might be in a bubble in your life, and you might be happy. You're just in your routine, right?
Yeah.
No one looks outside of that. And if you just look outside of it, and you look at all the things I just said, like what do they push on TV? What are the commercials for, right? Why is there all of a sudden, I'm looking at Instagram, and there's like porn on my explore page when I don't look at it, like soft core, you know what I mean? Girls looking. I'm like, dude, what is going on? I didn't request to see this shit, but that's more of a, you get addicted to porn. That's like, okay, then you get addicted to whatever else, you know, it all links together, man. It just seems like, they don't give a fuck about us, really.
It can't be a
never have.
It
Right.
can't be a coincidence.
Right. It can't be that all these things are coincidence.
It can't be.
That everything bad for you is praised and, you know, and advertised, and things that are good for you. Like, how often do you see like a commercial or advertisement? Like if you take the two, medicine, like a pill to lose weight, right? Or commercials for bad food versus like going to the gym, like a gym commercial or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? Or eating healthy or anything like that, is because it's not profitable either.
No.
That's really what's, this country's always gave a fuck
Like
about
you said,
it.
it's like,
the money more
a
to
pill
this
to lose weight and then a Pizza Hut commercial.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna take this so I can eat this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. It's like, oh, and don't do the hard, you know, don't go exercise yourself. You know.
Even fucking what Planet Fitness is fucking fake.
Yeah, don't they have pizza parties every week or something?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
They have massage chairs and
bro, they have massage chairs and they have pizza parties inside the place. Legitimately.
Yo, for real.
Like,
He said even fucking Planet Fitness is fake.
You know what I mean? Like,
'Cause it
they're
is, though.
pulling that
No
dumb
grunt
shit.
zone. Yeah. Can't grunt here. Yeah.
You can't grunt.
no grunt.
No
Yo, the
grunting.
dumbbells only go to 70 pounds.
Planet Fitness?
Yeah. You can't get jiggy with that shit.
You cannot get jiggy with that shit.
I'm returning it, so no, I don't have a motherfucking receipt. That was one of the funniest fucking things.
You been chewing on this?
What are you
Guess
gonna do?
again, motherfucker.
That shit was great.
What are you gonna do here, guys? What are you gonna do with this place, this here country? What are we gonna?
Yeah, we're not. I don't know.
I really don't know,
wonder if
dude.
there's anything we can do.
I never
Like,
thought
let's
I'd
say
feel like
you
this.
do educate yourself and you do fucking find out all this and you do all your fucking due diligence.
Yeah.
What's really in your control at that point? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, thank you. Cheers.
What's really good with you there? I don't know.
It's too much.
It is too much. Everybody's chewing.
The only reason we care about this shit
these fuckers
is because of our age.
the only thing we care.
The only reason we care about this type of stuff is because we're going into like this age where we understand that we're not immortal.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
yeah, we have.
We're getting to the years where
I got
our parents are
about-
getting old.
It was like Deion Cole. I got about 13 summers left. Deion Cole. You fucking when you put something in that kind of perspective, it's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
like-
Like that there was a podcast short that always was that like how, you know, do your parents live in your city? And the guy was like, no, they live in Florida. And he was like, how often do you see them? And he's like, it's twice a year.
Jesse, it's
and he
like
goes, so basically you probably only have about 10 more visits with your
right.
parents because they were like in their 80s, and he was like, that immediately makes you want to go see your parents.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of fucking, you know, like scarcity
Yeah.
and being with people, man.
Yeah, you don't realize it.
No, you don't
Yeah.
realize it. You know?
Yeah, man.
Like
I
you said,
mean,
you're at that age where now you start to give a fuck.
right.
And youth is 100% wasted on the young
Mhm.
because you tell them something, they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I got
right.
time.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I feel like I fucking sneezed and I turned 40. Like,
Facts.
what the fuck happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that is
And I've had some great memories, but I'm like,
Right.
damn, if I knew this or I cared about this,
right.
you know what I mean? Like I gave a fuck about certain
Yeah,
things.
man.
I feel a lot better about my life.
It's a
You want to hear a really fucking crazy thing that it's gonna fuck you up?
Oh god.
Hold
Here
on.
we go.
Right. So you don't realize this, and I thought I actually just popped in my head, but half of our lives we've been working at that building.
Oh yeah, of course.
Half, almost just about half of our lives we've been
20
working
years.
at that building.
I'm 44 and I've been there for 20 years
Yeah.
in June.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Half.
Like, dude. Yes.
You know, because think about the first half of your life.
We were chilling.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the reality of it. It's like holy fucking shit.
That's
In
wild.
the
Half.
same building.
In the same building, even
Same
doing the
building.
same job.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
It's
Time,
crazy.
bro. Time waits
But
for
it,
no
it
one.
goes by, dude. Do you realize I remember?
I've been with Jess more than half my life.
Yeah.
23 years.
Yep.
This year.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking insane?
That is
You think
to
about
be
it.
so young too, and it's like you know what I mean.
Well,
Like
to
to
fi-
be,
well,
It doesn't
40,
feel that long,
40
does it?
something.
you
Right.
kind of we kind of
Right.
grew
Yeah.
together, and it was weird. It was like, you know, it was a little bit where we kind of grew apart, and it just
Ugh.
came full circle. We went right back. You know what I mean? And we've like, you know how you change every so often.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you'll never change. Like people change in
Every-
certain
yeah.
ways every so
Mhm.
often.
Right.
And I felt like the changes that we have in each other, yeah, we're different people, but it worked. I don't know. I'm grateful.
100%.
Yeah, man.
More
when
than
you-
half my life.
It's cool to
crazy think.
yeah. It's cool to see like the wisdom you gain too when you get older. Like you know when you live a little bit of life and you
It's all about experience. you know what I
yeah.
mean?
you
That's
know.
why I'm so surprised that these young comics are so fucking funny, but they have such a great memory of their childhood. Like I feel like I never remembered my childhood like that. You know what I mean? And they have like these older perspectives on those youthful situations.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that makes them great comics. You know what I mean? But when they're older, I always thought they were funnier because they had so much more happen to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, you know, that's why some of these podcasts are so interesting because you have 50-year-old Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson's like, yo, I did this, I did that. You know what I mean?
All those years of stories, man.
Yes.
Now that
So-
he's
so
totally
many impactful moments with impactful people. Like, you know what I mean? Like people like they tell you like, oh, I met such celebrity and back in this day, and you know what I mean? They tell you like a crazy story about that shit, and it's cool. You know, it all comes with experience. You know?
Yeah.
Like you said, as
Yeah.
you get older, you get wiser. you know shit. You see young people fucking up, and it bothers you. But what can you do? You were that age too.
All you can do is say some shit and be like, okay, you're gonna fuck this up anyway.
You just sound like a sound like a grumpy old man.
Yeah, you're just like, you're gonna
Used to
fuck this
make
up.
fun of-
I feel like a grumpy old man all the time because I tell these fucking kids, I'm like,
am
You're
a
gonna-
grumpy old man.
you're
I don't
fucking
even
up.
feel like fuck my ego shit. Remember? Take off my shirt. I am a grumpy old man. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it. I don't fucking. I think I am. No, I'm a grumpy old man.
when someone parks in front of your house, do you like stick your head out the door?
Yeah, I'm like the
Watch
dog.
him.
I'm like the dog.
Absolutely.
Can I help you? Like, yeah, just waiting for my kid to get off the bus stop.
I know,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Somebody be doing something responsible, like texting, but they stop the car. And you're like, get the fuck out of here.
Why you parked in front of my house? Why are you parked on a public street in front of my house?
Why are you
Right.
turning around in my driveway?
Dude, people call the cops for that shit all the fucking time.
Dude,
That's crazy.
Yeah. For people parking, like, dude,
Like,
I watched this
cops,
video.
That's so ridiculous.
Well, the funny thing is, like, so I think this one dude actually did it on purpose. He's like probably like one of those auditor people, like
Yeah.
cop auditors, right? And he was sitting there for like 2 hours. He sat in this neighborhood, right? And the cop came up, and he's just parked there. The cop came up. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" It's like, "Nothing, just sitting in my car." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "Can I see your ID?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Have I committed a crime? You can't see my ID." You know, okay. So, you know, that's because it was a no ID state where you have to, there has to be a reasonable suspicion of a crime has occurred. Right? And he's just sitting there, and he's like, "No." He's like, "Well, I'm trying to figure out what you're doing here." He's like, "You don't need to know what I'm doing here." He's like, "Well, we've had phone calls." He's like, "And?" He's like, "Well, that's just," he's like, "You're acting, you're suspicious." He's like, being suspicious isn't a crime. I'm just sitting here." He's like, "Because you think I'm suspicious there's no crime." You know?
Right.
He's like, "Well, you're in a neighborhood you don't belong in." And I'm like, there it
There
is.
is.
Why don't I belong here? Because I don't live here?
Right.
This is a public street
Right. In America.
in America, and I can't be here.
You can't be on.
Mind you, this dude is white.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying anything about I'm not saying anything bad about the cop being racist or anything like that. What I'm saying is this is the problem with it's like all he had to do was walk up, be like, "Hey, dude, we got a phone call about you. What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just sitting here." He's like, "Okay, cool. Don't do anything stupid. Bye." You know, he just had to walk away.
Exactly.
That's
know?
simple. That's simple.
And I understand. Listen,
That's
I'm not a fucking cop. I'm like, but at the same time, you gotta understand. There's literally nothing you can do at this point. This dude's like, "Hey, I'm not giving you my ID. I'm not doing anything wrong." You're kind of sitting there with your hands tied, like, "Fuck, like I really can't do anything." Like, all right, listen, dude, just don't be weird. Don't do anything weird. All right, please. I don't feel like coming back here because this dumb dipshit down the street called me because there's a car in front of my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See that goes into what Will was saying, which is this is a huge issue with policing. Their ego.
Oh,
Police
100%.
ego.
100%.
Whenever like they act like there's not like for instance, what you just said, when the police officer walked up to the guy and asked him for his ID.
So loud.
There's so many things that's funny about that. How much we're trying to go out of the way of the camera. I'm at the
I feel like it makes it worse.
the mic. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Just get up in it.
Watching you two do it is so funny. But they act as if every answer to their question has to be what they want.
Yes. I'm
Like-
not getting the answers I want.
Right. And it's like you guys, because they don't look at us as equal. They look at they look at them like we're police, and then there's under them as
Yeah.
civilians.
Exactly.
So if I'm as your superior, you can't not answer me or not do what I'm saying. And it's like the culture, and that's why that kept going with that dude probably because
Oh, yeah.
like why was the kid? What was the kid? White or black?
He's a white dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why he kept going because he felt disrespected.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He felt like, no, I said do this. I don't care what the law is. I'm asking you to do it, and
Yeah.
you should do it.
I'm giving you a lawful order that's not lawful.
Right. It's like, yo, dude, like.
That's one of their favorite things to say. I'm giving you a lawful order. What law is that?
Right.
Just tell me the law and I'll do it. How about that? But that's the problem. And I will 100% say this, man. And I actually saw a video of another cop talking about this. He's like, we are not taught laws. We are taught tactics. You know what I mean? And the Constitution, the one thing that you're upholding, you're not taught at all.
That's so crazy.
There was a guy who was going, it was funny. He was going around asking cops. He's like, can you tell me the First Amendment? He would just walk up to cops. Like, can you tell me the First Amendment? And they're like, fuck. Like, a couple of them were like, fuck you, get away from me, type of thing. Not one cop. He went up to 20 different cops.
Come on.
And in a city, and not one of them could actually say the First Amendment, right? What it is.
That's wild.
It is wild.
That's horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the First Amendment, but I'm fucking nobody. I'm a bartender. I have my tips training.
But that exactly, and that's what I'm saying. You're not.
I know my laws. I know you got to be 21.
You also
keep my
don't have
job
the
then.
ability to
But
take
that's
away
what
someone's
I'm
freedom.
Right.
You also do not have the ability to take away someone's freedom.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Or
So-
detain someone. You don't have that ability to detain someone. You will
Right.
go to jail if you detain someone.
Yeah.
But because this dude took a 6-month course, now he's good.
Now, how many?
The training isn't good
How
enough,
many
man.
criminal laws do you know,
There you go.
as opposed to your jobs, like laws that pertain to
Wait, say it again.
laws that pertain to your job? We probably know all of them.
100%.
Versus.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus laws like in your state's laws. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, I don't really know that. You know.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, we have to know him because
Now we
it's
have
so easy for us to get fired.
Right.
Because we want them to know. But isn't there? That's what I'm saying. It should be their job to know.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is
We
where
know-
the whole
and
like
we know it kind of voluntarily, in a way. Like we look up that shit because, like you said, it pertains. We care about this job.
Mhm.
So how it seems like they don't care about that job? Is it because they're counting on the fact that you don't know those criminal laws, or because they don't know them, they don't know they're fucking crossing the line?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if it pertains to your job, like if you can film me, like I stop you
Mhm.
and it's an unlawful stop, and I fucking, like you said, detain you, fucking do all that shit, couldn't I lose my fucking job? Like, why wouldn't you care about those laws?
Yeah.
It's insane.
The training is trash.
And not to mention the fact that half the time when these cops
That's
do,
what I mean. The training is trash.
It's-
but
it's
a lot
awful.
Of it, we fucking look up ourselves. You know what I mean? But there's no consequences when they fuck up.
Right.
dude, we have to do the training that we have to go to, the dumbest shit ever, like the corporate shit we have to fucking go. We have to sit through. I'm like, what are we even talking about here? Like we had to talk. We had to go through a 2-hour thing about how men can walk in the women's bathroom now.
Yeah.
Remember? And I was just like, okay, you couldn't just email this to me. That's fine. I don't need to be. But that's the thing is like they take that so seriously in these corporations because they're worried about lawsuits.
Exactly.
Now, hold on. Now this is where I'm about to get real fucking weird now.
Here we go.
Right?
Yes.
So they're worried because they can personally be sued. These corporations.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
Super jug.
when let's say a cop violates someone's Fourth Amendment, right? Do it.
This is like,
Oh my god. Hey Mikey, go to the bathroom.
this is the 40-year-old Pete.
Swollen prostate.
That's the 40-year-old Pete
Dripping,
dribbling
down your
All right,
balls.
go ahead. I'm
Go.
sorry.
So now, all right. So now the reason we have to go through all these dumb trainings, like even with our like our tips training, everything like that, right? It's all about insurance. It's all about saying so that somehow they can put a lot of the responsibility on us,
Yes.
right? So that if they are sued, they won't have to pay out as much.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to let's say a cop violates someone's Fourth Amendment. You know who gets sued? It's not the cop.
No,
it's
that's what
it's
I'm
the
saying.
fucking government
There's-
that gets
it's
taxed.
us.
It's us.
It's us. that-
Tax dollars.
Exactly.
We're the ones who get sued, so we're the ones all paying it out. So it's kind of funny. So there's this big movement now, trying to say that. So now, if there's some kind of say there's a lawsuit, they're going to start going after the pension funds of the cops,
There you go.
That's what I was.
and that'll
that
start
was my-
and that's where the accountability will come from because these other cops will be like, "Yo, you're fucking up my money."
fucking up my money. Exactly.
So weird how it took so long for that.
Yeah, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. I just know there's this big movement to do it. But that's what they need to start doing is like these lawyers need to start suing the pension funds. But then you're getting in with lawyers, and then you're getting in with politicians, and this is where it gets money.
Yep.
It's a huge cycle
money.
of fuckery.
Their money is.
I was talking to my neighbor last night. He's a retired state trooper, and we were talking about. I was bitching about how our union was supporting Phil Murphy. I fucking hate Phil Murphy. I think he's a piece of shit. I think he's a bought and sold fucking Goldman Sachs fucking ex-executive that is pretty much like being handed everything on a silver plate because of who he is. right?
And that's what he's done.
Yep, and he's playing the game. He's another one of these like good old boy cronies. You know what I mean? That it's just the same old thing, fucking happening over and over again. And he was like,
also a gazillionaire.
yeah,
Made more in office, right, than they had his whole life.
oh yeah, 100%.
Shocker again.
Yeah, shocker. And he was pretty much saying, he's like, dude, he's like, you got to understand how hard it was for. He's like, so he was part of the union, my neighbor, like actually like a rep, and he was saying, he's like, you don't understand. He's like, everybody I was representing, the majority of cops are conservatives. You know what I mean? So they're mostly Republican. He's like, but as the part of the union, he's like, we got to play ball with these fucking politicians because that's where our money is coming from. He's like, so if we don't agree with what they're fucking doing, their politics, everything like that, we still have to play ball and support them as as the face of the union. He's like, it's fucking bullshit. He's like, but that's and he's like, your union's doing the exact same fucking thing.
Right.
He's like, that's all it is. He's like, it's not. He's like, don't take it personally. He's like, but he's like, you know, they're playing. And I always said, I'm like, oh, they're playing that game. If that game is rigged, I'm gonna play a different game. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that he was that like kind of really, not that I shouldn't say I didn't fucking figure this, but at the same time that really opened my eyes. I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
And you know, especially for him, you know, for the cops, they're fucking all Republican. You know, for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, they're very conservative. So, but that's how deep all this shit is. It's so fucking deep that like what's really gonna change?
That's the trickle. It's the trickle up effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Police are. I know they have it hard. Like I get it.
It's not an easy job.
Yeah.
I get it. Like I understand it. And I'm fortunate to have like a close friend that's in law enforcement. So he'll give me perspectives that like the civilian population don't have.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know, which is helpful. And I'm like, damn, everybody needs to hear this.
But this is the thing, is that there is no discourse. Like there's no conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
At all.
Between these people where you're sitting down and you're like, all right, why do you think this way? Okay, why do you think this way?
Right.
It's completely stifled by horse shit.
Yep.
And just like, no, I don't like you because you're a cop. Or I don't like you because you live here. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's like, all right, cool. What do we do now?
Yeah. Now where do we go? Right. And then it's usually nothing after that. There's no conversation, like you said, no discourse, and that
Jump on one side or the other.
yeah, and that creates
That's where you stay.
that distance between people of not understanding why this person is doing this and this person is doing this, and then you just get a lack of understanding usually turns to anger, or you feel disrespected because you don't know why this person is behaving this way because you don't talk. And then that turns to, it could escalate from there. But it's not going to change, man, unless I realize we have to change everything in this that we want changed. Like, you literally can't look to any person in power to make a move that's going to be beneficial for you. Now, if they do it, awesome, you take it. Mm-hmm. But we're at a point where we can no longer expect anybody, and this is sad, but the proof has shown it. Yeah. We can't look to anybody and really put our eggs in the basket, like, for another person to make something happen that we think should happen. It's like, it's all up to us. If we want to, like, eradicate, like you were just saying, there's no discourse between cops and civilians, right? Mm-hmm. The only way that like, we are used to waiting for, like, a department or an institution to implement a program that does that, right?
Yeah.
It looks like none of that shit, nothing that's going to be beneficial to us as civilians to be more of a cohesive unit. Like, they don't want us cohesive because you can't be controlled like that. So they're not going to promote anything that, that will result in harmony between people. So we're going to have to do it. Like, people have to do it. We all have to do everything, dude. Like, I think we've crossed the line where the people in power are not for our betterment. They're actually for our detriment, and they're just making it look like it's for our betterment. So if we want things to change, we got to change it on our own. Like, that's why I'm a big believer in, if people want, like, racism to end, if that's even a possibility, you have to be willing to have conversations with people of all backgrounds and to hear like the raw shit that they came up believing, whether it's good or bad. Like, because if they're honest, because listen, if a person comes to a place and is willing to divulge that, they're willing to listen to have their mind changed.
There's a reason they're telling you this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't want to think like this. They're like, yo, this is how I believe. I would like to hear from everybody else, you know? So I'm just using that as an example because I always felt like I was a person that's supposed to be like, I don't know, like doing that, like having, like leading those conversations.
Like a mediator?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, we as the people, we have to change. We're going to be the ones that are responsible for making any change that we want to happen. These fuckers, they might as well not even exist. You know what I mean? In terms of helping anything.
We should do it on here.
We should do it on
Put you right in the middle. I'll talk to somebody I don't know.
Yo, that's a great idea, dude.
Let's make it weird. We need to get a fourth microphone for no reason.
Right. You know what I mean? Like maybe, I don't know. We talk about it later. We have like a segment every once in a while. We'll do that. Like we call it, you know. I don't know.
Meet a black guy. What was it? Was it
Meet
on
a black
Chappelle?
guy, and then it'll be like meet a Puerto Rican guy, meet a Polish guy.
Yeah. What was the one? Remember Chappelle when he used to have on the comedian? What was his name? The older comedian?
Mooney.
Yeah,
Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney. Yeah.
Mooney. Yeah.
Wasn't it called Meet a Black Guy?
No.
Was it?
Wasn't it Negro Damas? Negro Damas is one of them.
Yep. But he would go over.
Negro Damas is great.
That was probably one of the best segments. I could have sworn it was like Meet a Black Guy or something.
It might have been. I don't know.
Something like that. Hold on. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Meet more black people. No, I remember he had the Jeopardy show where he was like, "Who knows black people?"
Yep.
And he was like, "Is pimping easy?" And one guy said yes, and the other guy said no. He was like, "That's correct, actually. Yes, like, it's easy and it's not easy." It was so fucking funny, man.
Ask a Black Dude. That's what it's called.
Ask a
Black Dude. That's what it was. Yeah. That was awesome.
That is a great idea. Ask a cop.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm saying like that's what needs to happen, man. Like people from both ends of the spectrum need to talk to each other in a respectful way.
There you go.
And be willing to be like, listen, man, you're probably gonna hear shit that you don't agree with, and you might get offended. Keep that shit in check.
Right.
Be respect. Like you might get offended, but it's not because you got offended doesn't mean that he's being disrespectful.
There you go.
That's what you need to fucking figure out.
Yeah. Just talking. He's saying how you feel or what he came up and grew up believing.
Yep.
You have to respect each other's beliefs.
Yeah.
At least respect it. You don't have to agree with it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like just be like, all right,
respect
cool.
it.
Like
That's all. I respect your opinion. I think like this because of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
that's where
think like that because of that. Like,
that's where the abortion issue becomes so sensitive because people literally there's people who literally think that unborn child isn't a child yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're just like, dude, I think it's a clump of cells before it hits this certain amount of time. That's what I think. Right. And people are like,
oh my God, that's crazy.
You're out of your mind. What do you mean? He's like, I don't know. This is what I think. Like, you don't obviously you don't think that, but I don't know.
Right. What else do you want me to say? Right.
You think as soon as you get pregnant, it's a baby.
Exactly.
Like,
it's so sensitive because of that.
Yeah,
but it's because people allow that their emotions to take over rather than any kind of rational thought where it's like, okay, take your emotion out of it for a second and just think.
It's not what you would do.
Exactly.
Fucking,
right.
You know, like I said, I believe a woman's rights to choose. I don't believe that I would ever want my wife to get an abortion.
Okay.
Right. And what's wrong with that?
Right.
There's nothing wrong.
You do what you. I want to do what affects me.
Right.
In this sense, you know what I'm saying?
And
those are the times to be selfish, like in your fucking beliefs, like you know what I mean. And what
they're
you
yours.
believe, they're yours. Like fucking be selfish, own that shit, and fucking keep that shit.
But this is a huge problem: is that people they don't focus on themselves and how they can better themselves. They focus on other people and their shortcomings rather than their own.
Right.
Right.
It's
always
shit,
better
dude.
it's always better to shit on people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
It's just because people are unhappy.
Yes, 100%.
It just goes around, like, you know what I mean? It's always it's a cycle of fuckery. Like that everything bad is connected. It might not be directly, but there's like it might be 4 links away. It's like, damn, that's connected to that too. But unhappy people, man, like insecure people, that's what they do. They get, they find this joy in talking about people or being in other people's business. It's like motherfuckers that are on the move, making shit happen, and that are like fulfilled or at least on the road to just trying to be better, don't have time for that shit.
No.
You know what I mean?
Why
like,
would they?
Right.
It's a waste of time. Like arguing with stupid people. It's a waste.
Right.
It's a waste of fucking time. Like, you know what I mean? You're not gonna
That would be a waste of time.
Dumbass. We got any bar stories? I felt like a lot of shit happened to us Friday that I can't remember anything. We had a lot of weird.
I remember I came up to you. I was like, "This kid has asked me if he could pay cash."
And I was like, "Hey, man, that's a legit question."
I was like, "This isn't Spirit Airlines, kid."
Because I went to a doctor's office and they don't accept cash.
Yeah,
my
nuts.
copay. I was trying to pay my copay. They were like, "Nah, bruh."
I had a guy told me to go fuck myself. That was cool.
Yes.
Why did he say it? Like, what was the thing that provoked
Let's
him?
He didn't agree with his bill, and I was like, "You bought 2 drinks for these 2 hookers." I'm like, and
You guys want to comp it?
and I was like, "Yeah." He was, and I told, and because he got the first one, I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Well, that other one's gonna be $12." He's like, "Okay, start a tab on my room." Cool, got it. Boom, did the whole, Yeah. Then the hooker got another one. I was like, "All right, cool, so good, whatever." And he didn't say. I looked. I was like, "All right, cool." So went on the bill, whatever. And she was still sitting there, by the way. And I gave him his bill.
Suspected.
And he was like, "I only got 1 drink." I was like, "No, there was 2 of them." And she even said, she's like, "No, I got 2. Yeah. And he's like, "Well, I don't understand this." I'm like, "Well, it's not much to understand." I'm like,
You bought 3 drinks.
Yeah, you bought whatever. You got to, I'm like, I even said, I was like, I comped the 2 that you got.
Math is absolute.
And you are buying the other deal. And I'm like, you can see it right there. It says it right on your room, that the number that's going on your room, and then there's the 2 that are comped off. He's like, he's like, I don't understand. I'm like, dude, I don't know how else I can understand. I'm like, read the receipt. All you have to do is read the receipt. He's like, oh, and then he's like, oh, this is what he said. He's like, I can't read it. And I was like, but you could read the other stuff you just told me. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, stop playing. I'm like, listen, this is what it is. I'm sorry. Like, if you don't agree with it, I'm like, but it's the way it is. I'm like, you could ask her for the money for the 2 drinks if you don't want to pay it. I'm like, someone has to pay it though. I don't care who.
Yeah. Right. Somebody's got to pay.
Y'all need to settle that.
Yeah. I'm like, that's up between you guys. I'm like, this is what you got. This is what's being put in front of you. Right. And I just turned around. I turned around. I was like, dude, I don't know what else to do. And he's like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. And I said it right in front of Kat. And I was like, he doesn't want to be here anymore.
That's my line.
The worst part about it, the best part about it was the hookers came to my aid.
That's good. I love that.
The hookers came to my aid. It was great.
Yeah.
They were like, you're not going to tip him? They're like, you're a piece of shit. I was like, there goes your pussy. Sorry, buddy. No handy for you tonight.
What's wrong with people? Like, what?
There's no accountability. There's no consequences in almost all aspects.
And that's it.
Lives.
Period. End of story.
And they're not satisfied. Remember we talked about this on the podcast before. The guy that we offered to buy him around.
Oh yeah.
Because we messed up.
Messed up the change.
Messed up the change, right?
Okay.
Like let's say you got a few drinks and he got a few drinks.
Right.
And I charged you both the same amount by mistake. Like I went over there. Oh, all right, it's $48, Scott. Oh, okay, it's $48.
Get closer to Mike.
$48, Kenny, and it's because I'm talking to you guys. But anyway,
right.
He charged the same amount by mistake, right? And he was like, "Hey, I don't think this is right." And I was like, "Oh shit!" You know what I mean? He charged you this much. I owe you this much. You know what I mean? So I put it in front of him. He's like, I don't get it. And they were both like, I said, "Look, you got 2 drinks. It was supposed to be $24. I gave you the difference. You know what I mean? So I gave you the money back. You only paid what you were supposed to pay."
Right.
And he's like, "I don't understand." I was like, "I'm sorry." You know what I mean? And I was like, I'll buy you guys your next round. Right.
Okay.
And he goes, "No." Yeah. He was like, "You guys want another round?" They're like, "No, we don't want anything. We just don't think it's right." And I was like, "What do you want? You want to not pay anything?"
Yeah, what are you talking
Like that's
about?
what you're saying?
Maybe really what
That's
dumb.
Do you not wanna
that's the only
pay-
thing I can think of that they were getting.
Yeah,
at.
that's what I'm saying. I
Give
was
me
like,
all my
what-
money
I was
back
like,
now.
What more do you want? Do you want me to pay you to drink? Like I don't fucking understand you. Like you're like, I just think it's fucked up. What do you
What's
want? You want a
fucked
free
up,
you want a
bro?
free room because I gave you your money back?
Right, like I made you whole. Like
You
what's
told
still
me,
fucked up now?
Exactly. You told me right away, and I recognized it right away. Oh shit, you're right. I charged you the same amount I charged this guy. My bad, because I was serving you at the same time.
Right, gave you the money back.
It was a fucking mistake, dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah.
Like you said, like it's so bad when you look at somebody else and they're not perfect, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not perfect. Like, I fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Players mess up.
yeah. That's weird. Maybe he was that dumb. Maybe he thought like
Yeah.
maybe his comprehension. Maybe he was off.
I said, what-
That's so weird.
Yeah, and I don't know. Remember, I was like, "What do you want to speak to the owner of Borgata?" Because I shorted you 14 and I gave it right back to you.
Right.
Like, what are you gonna say? I don't know what you expect. I don't
He
know
pro-
what-
I just think it's fucked up, Will.
I just wonder if he thought maybe you were stealing his money.
That's what I'm saying.
Even
There
if
had
he
to be a
thought that.
misunderstanding there.
And then even at that point, the second you brought it up and you got the money back, it's like, okay, well, you're not stealing the money anymore. And like, maybe he'd be like,
Right.
well, that's fucked up. You tried to steal from me. That's the only thing I can think of that is somewhat plausible why he was acting the way he was acting. You know, like it was a mistake though. And I'm like, you're not the dude. Like, and the way you reacted to it was like, oh, dude, fuck, my bad. And gave it to him like, yo, I got your next
That's what I'm
round.
saying.
I'm
Right,
sorry,
like,
I
Jen-
fucked up.
I gave you your money back right away. I recognized that I did make a mistake because I did. I gave you your money back. I offered to buy you a round. What more?
How much more?
You
Yeah,
Want, you want to get that round for free and not pay anything? Is that what you want?
he wants a
Like, you
handy,
made
dude.
fucking-
He wants a $5,000 marker.
That's what I said.
You know,
You want to own the place now? Like, I don't
yeah.
understand what kind
Room
of justice,
service.
What kind of justice were you looking for?
I just think it's fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You
Like,
can
I
it's
think a
fucked
lot
up
of
all you
things.
want. I think a lot of things are fucked up.
I just think a lot of things.
It's like, I think the fact that you're a soulless ginger is fucked up. But hey, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about your fucking red hair, asshole.
a soulless.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Oh man.
But it's, you know, it's just dumb. Like, I don't understand what you want.
Everything.
I don't understand what you expect to go out.
They just
Like,
want everything.
every time I go out to eat, not every meal's great.
Right.
Oh, well, guess I ain't going back there. I'm going
Right.
to give this place a break. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what.
People think people aren't people. Like they think people are
Yeah.
like the machines, dude. Like
I don't understand.
it's okay. Like if something's not right, unless it's something that's like just like you ordered a ribeye and they bring out like grilled chicken or some shit. Like it's like all right. I ordered a ribeye, bro. Like I'm not trying to be an asshole,
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
can I get my ribeye?
I even feel bad doing that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
Do
like,
you?
this
Yeah,
chicken
like,
will
anytime
be-
See, I've never had
like-
something that far off.
I never complain. I never complain. Like
No.
unless it's something
Yeah.
that crazy like that. And
Yeah.
even then, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll just eat the
Like,
chicken.
I'm apologizing for something I didn't even do.
Yeah.
Sorry, but this isn't right.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I got you.
I don't care.
It's like, oh God, what's about to happen to my food now?
Well, that's the thing.
That's
Is
the
like
thing, I'm not
servers,
sending it back.
and not that, but like
Uh,
servers worry about that shit because people take that like the server fucked up. Like you got brought out some food from a food runner who had nothing to do with the fuck who,
Exactly.
you know, and
That's
they're
why-
like pissed off because the server like.
Yeah, for me, you get
Right.
20% if you're having a shitty day. Like, I don't care if my
Yeah.
order's wrong or you fucked up.
As long as
you
you're not
have an
mean.
attitude.
Right.
Yeah, as long as you're not an
Like I'm
an
talking
asshole.
mean, like you tell me to go fuck myself. Mean.
Right.
Like you can be in a bad mood and just like be super indifferent with me.
You can-
I'll still
exactly.
tip you 20%.
Yeah.
I'm like whatever.
You still get it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to you before you got here.
Like, nothing is their fault.
That's a good question. What has to happen at a restaurant where like what does a server have to do
Like he said, be mean. Like, be
for
a
you to
fucking.
get less than 20%?
what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a
Would
dude,
you ever stiff anyone ever?
never stiffed anybody, but
I don't think I've ever.
I'll
Is
never
there-
forget.
is
I
there
gave a
cri-
guy
not
a
on
10%
purpose.
tip one time,
Okay.
and it was because he went overboard. Like he was like overly trying to be a dick to me, to be a prick.
How could you do that? As
And I was
a
just
server?
like-
I will never understand.
Neither.
He wouldn't even like when he would talk to me. He would look up and talk to me, like be like okay, like the entire time he's taking the order.
I can't imagine a server doing
It was the
that.
weirdest thing, and I don't want to say where it was
I don't-
because like I've been back
Yeah,
there
yeah,
since,
right,
and it was
right.
really fucking good.
Okay.
It was just this one dude, and like overly good actually, because 100% better.
Right.
But yeah, man, we sat down. We get there. The dude comes up. He's like, "You guys ready to order?"
I don't know why
Like-
that's so funny.
I was like, "All right."
That's so
I was like, "Can we give
weird.
you?" I'm like, could we give you drinks? I'm like, no. We waited a really long time, and he just walked right up. I was like, were you guys ready to order? I was like, yeah. Could we put in our appetizers? He's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, cool. I was like, all right. So we gave him the appetizer and the drinks, right? The appetizer came out before the drinks came out to the table.
Jesus Christ.
So the appetizer's on the app. So the appetizer's on the table, and this dude walks up without the drinks, and is like, "You guys ready to order entrees?" Like looking around, I'm like, "What the fuck?" I remember that was my ex-wife.
That's like
I'm
some
like,
game
"What
show
the fuck
shit,
is going
dude.
on?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Are we being fucking punked?"
Yeah, seriously.
Never seen it. Like I've seen it when they're trying to remember something. Yeah, everybody does that.
Right.
But never.
That's
like no eye contact the entire time.
Yeah. Like I've
was
never
weird.
been. I've had.
I'm like he's going out of his way.
I've had
I'll go out of my way.
I've had situations where it's been overly trying to be overcorrected. Like they put I had ordered a burger. It was like a Red Robin or something, right? And they had put something on the bottom of the bun that I didn't like. Yeah, that I didn't like. So I just asked for a new bun. Right. I was like, I'll pay for it. Like I don't care. I just want another bun because I didn't know this sauce. Like I don't dig this sauce, whatever, right? She's like, no, we'll make you a whole new one. I was like, no, it's fine. Just give me another, whatever, right? She sends over the manager, and he's like, is there a problem? And I was like, I just want a different bun. Like, I don't want anything. I said, if you want, I'll eat it without the bun. Like, I don't care. They're like, no.
Changing how I want to
He's
eat
like,
my
no,
meal now.
we're going to make you a new one. And he takes it away. And then it takes forever,
Ah.
right? And so I was like, they doing that shit on purpose. But I didn't really complain. I just wanted another
Ask
bun.
for two
A piece
other
of
new
bread.
pieces of bread.
That's it, because it was like soaked into the fucking bun. You know what I mean?
Right, it was too much.
And I just asked for a to-go container. I don't think I even ate it. Like I never touched it because I was afraid. You know what I mean? Still tipped her, but it was like a very like weird overreaction
Right.
to such a lame complaint. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't even like a real complaint. That's why, like, same thing. I never send fucking food.
We'll make you a new one. No.
No, I'm good.
Because what I really want to say to you is, I don't want you to make it the same fucked up the way you made this one. I just want new pieces of bread so I can put it on my now burger.
Yeah, burger's fine.
My
Right.
now burger.
My now burger. You're taking my then burger.
Right.
I want my now burger. I don't want my So I ended up fucking leaving without eating and shit. But
That sucks.
yeah, it just because
You could have ate bottomless fries.
I know.
the
Yo,
entire
they give you
time.
like 8 at a time. It's so funny.
I know.
I remember that first.
Isn't it like you're making more work for yourself?
Yeah. It's
Like,
right.
why are you giving me 8 fries at a time? Like, fuck. I mean, that's one time like, when one of my nephews had a fucking brain fart at Red Robin. Because, you know, they used to give you, like, different fries. Like, you'd have steak fries and then, like, the seasoned fries or whatever, right? And they're bottomless fries, right? And then you get you rolled all the way back. And you know how you get, like, he couldn't get the concept. You can really hear it on his. Oh, my God, it's so funny. I don't hear it in my fucking headphones. But, like, he didn't really get the concept that it was bottomless, right? And he's like, yeah, but if you should have ordered steak fries if you want steak fries. She goes, no, I'm having chips. I want one of your steak fries. And he's like, but I don't understand why you're taking my steak fries and you ordered chips. And she's like, I want chips. I just want one of your fries. They're bottomless. And he's like, nah, just don't touch my fries. Like, he's like, like, don't you get the concept that they give you as many as you fucking want?
Right.
And she just wanted one. Like, it's your sister, you fucking. But he was a kid. He was like fucking 10 or 12 years old. But it was so funny that he didn't get it. Like, he could not get it. And we just kept laughing. We're like, this motherfucker
They're not going to give me anymore.
really doesn't get it, that they're bottomless. Like, he doesn't understand
more.
why she didn't order her own.
That's funny.
It's like,
I just want one of your steak fries.
just want one of your steak fries. You know how girls are. They're always
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
picking off your plate.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
Even if they don't want it.
That's funny. Yeah.
Especially when they don't want it.
Mhm.
Or,
Like,
when,
"Oh, can I
or
try that?"
when you're really hungry. No, I don't want anything. I'll just have some of yours. Why? Why do you want some of mine? Why are we like that as men? Even if you're overweight, underweight, it doesn't matter. Fucking every man, I think, is like that. Like with their girlfriend that doesn't want anything to eat.
It's called resource guarding.
But you want your own. You want your own burger. Like, I want my full burger. Like, I want the entire burger. I don't want to give you an eighth of my burger.
I ordered this burger
Yep.
because I want to eat
Because you-
the entire burger.
I'd rather order you a whole new one before I give you some of mine.
I was like, I'll order you
I'll do
another
that.
one.
I'll do that.
You can
since
eat
I'm
an
I'm
eighth
like,
of
yeah,
that
I'll
one.
I'll get you your own.
That's what I said. You can eat an eighth of that one.
Right.
And then
I'll eat the rest of that too.
order your own. I don't mind paying double.
I feel like that's a power move.
It is a power move,
Yeah.
but we always give in and we can't fucking. You know what I mean?
No.
The last thing I want to do is talk myself out of some pussy. Fuck
Isn't it the
that.
worst feeling when you
Right.
do?
When you talk
You're like,
yourself out of it?
I'm not getting fucking pussy.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right.
Then you gotta play catch up. My bad. I'm sorry.
You got to backpedal. And
Sorry, babe. You want something to eat?
You hungry?
You're hungry. You're hungry always works.
We should get some fries and share them.
I'll share my bottomless fries.
Share my bottomless fries with you.
I'll share them even if they're not bottomless.
For real, you got to backpedal.
Yeah.
Come back to it. Fucking think about what you're going to say. You might as well just be quiet. You're like, yeah. Yeah. Agree. Nod your head.
So I was watching another podcast. I don't know if you guys ever check it out, but it's called $1 Million Worth of Game.
$1 million worth of game.
Yeah, it's with I forget what's the dude, Gilly from rap group back in the day, Major Figures. I don't know if you guys remember that. They had the song called "Yeah That's Us." It was like do do do, yeah that's us, do do do. All right, whatever. But him and his cousin, they have a podcast. His cousin was like locked up for 20 years. He comes out and just starts crushing shit. Like becomes an entrepreneur, very successful. And then they have this podcast is really big. And they had Michael B. Jordan on like a few days ago, and Gilly, he started the Michael B. Jordan challenge, whereas because he apparently got like Michael B. Jordan got like voted like the sexiest man alive or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the challenge was you tell your girl that Michael B. Jordan got voted that, and you see what she says, and if she don't lie to you, telling you that you're the sexiest motherfucker alive, to get rid of her. like she ain't worth shit. And it was like,
That's fucking great.
right? It was like, nah, baby, you are the sexiest man ever. It's like, it's so funny. I thought about it. I'm like, would I want her to do that? I'm like, I think I would. Even though I know you bullshit. like,
How do you think ugly girls get these dudes, man? They
Right.
got to cater to that ego, man.
yo, the male ego is so fragile, dude.
But so
is
are women's.
yeah, you're
women's
right.
are even
Just
worse.
the ego, right?
Yeah.
The ego in general.
Like it's the competitiveness they have with other women, which is
Ooh.
weird. And
It
it
is
affects the
strange.
relationships
yeah,
with other
they
friends.
like hate each other.
Yeah.
That they should be running the world.
Right.
They
Except
should
for
be
that, right.
running the world, except for that little tiny fucking. They can't stand each other.
Yeah. It's so.
Yeah, Chris Rock said that shit too. Not, he
Yeah.
said it in one of those special. Women hate women. That's why they don't get away.
That's why WNBA isn't shit.
See, I love
Yo,
back.
y'all don't
I love getting
support
back
your
on
own,
the
man.
WNBA.
Yeah.
Right.
It's. I mean,
Dude,
I
it's
Yeah. What do you want? You want dudes to start watching this shit?
lower the rim.
Dudes don't fucking get into it.
Listen to Shaq.
And I'll be the first one to fucking say that. I love watching women UFC fights.
Oh, yeah.
Depending
Dude.
the higher weights, because sometimes it's the lower weights, like it's like they're fucking throwing pillows at each other.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're
You know what I mean? Because they're so small.
They're so fast. That's
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. It's like
Even
it's
that
the
part's
technique.
cool.
And
Yeah.
what's really pure about that is how good their technique is. You know what I
Right.
mean, because they're not trying to force like muscle anything. You know,
Right.
and it still has a lot of there's a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of time that men have had doing combat sports that women haven't. You know, so it's
True.
it's definitely like the talent is exponentially getting better
Hell
as it
yeah.
goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like men are the ones watching these fights.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that we're the ones supporting this shit.
Right.
You know, not there aren't women who do, but the majority of them are men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Is that a sports thing in general though?
yes,
It's just
Yeah.
women don't like that. For like you said, for being so competitive, you don't like to watch competition.
yes.
I don't understand that you know what I mean, that way of thinking. I mean,
No, they want to watch Bravo.
I don't understand women, but yeah, but they watch Bravo for the
Watch
fucking
horse
fights,
shit.
bro. They watch Bravo
Exactly.
for the arguments and the fucking fights. Like
The
drama.
You think that's not scripted? Like that's just fucking
Absolutely.
like, you know what I mean? They come on, man. It's like watching the WWE.
yeah.
I mean, you're watching these scripted outcomes. You know what I mean? And yeah, they put these fights together themselves, but
We had
it's just like a soap opera for men.
my neighbor came over the other night with like her daughter and her daughter's friend, and like they were all like mangled. You know, they got home from the bar. They were at like some birthday party, and the one was all drunk and started fucking crying. Right.
Yeah, there's always one.
And it was one. I'm
Yeah,
like sitting,
yeah.
and I'm sitting there like I'm dead sober, you know, and I'm like eating my dinner, like,
Oh my god.
and it's all, it's my mom, Sarah, those 3
Super
women, and then
uncomfortable.
2 little girls because Callie was having a sleepover. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, can we stop? Like, I'm sitting, and all I kept thinking about, I was like, if this was the other way around and one of my boys started crying, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. What are you doing crying? Shut the fuck up.
See, even men are mean to each other
Yeah.
when they express their emotions.
Right,
What the fuck you crying
What are you
about?
crying about, bro? Why are you crying? It's the crying part. It's not even the fact that they're expecting. Because if a dude was like, yo, dude, I'm having a really hard time. It's like, yo, let me talk to me.
Yeah,
What's up?
exactly.
yeah.
But, this,
But
you
we
start
would
crying,
do
like,
that
you
in
fucking
private
crying,
too.
bro?
We're not gonna
Stop that shit.
We're not gonna cry at the
Like
dinner
sobbing,
table.
weeping.
We're not
You
gonna
don't cry, motherfucker.
We're not gonna cry at the winner table.
Yeah.
I mean, at the dinner table. I
Unless
said
your
winner
dog
table.
died, you don't
I
cry.
like winner table.
Winner's table. You're not gonna cry at the winner's table. I don't know. Fucking
The winner's
these
table.
sensitive ass kids we have here.
Yeah, bro. That's what's wrong, man. The ease of living has created soft human beings.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Yeah.
And when you're soft, that's where you get all this shit. That's why everybody's the hard T.
Yeah, I call
So
him soft.
everybody's
Soft.
that's offended by everything.
Yeah.
Like we have the luxury. I've read somewhere, or I either read it or heard it, but somebody like from a different country was like, "You guys have the luxury of being offended by everything.
It is a luxury. You're right.
Like your lives are so easy that like
You're
you
looking
have
for a problem.
you have time to worry about that. Motherfuckers are trying to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't even eat. You don't have electricity. Trying to walk 6 miles to get clean water. Like they don't have time for any of this dumb shit, dude.
Yeah, they're out here looking for problems. And all I see is problems around me. You know?
Yeah.
All I have is problems from the second I wake up
Right.
to the end of the night. All I have is problems.
Trying to figure shit out.
That's
Yep.
got to be weird, man. To
It
Like
It
real
does.
problems.
to look at it from that perspective, from
Objectively, yeah.
living life like that, and then looking over at a country.
That has so much and appreciates so little.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's not good. My vanilla answers. Exactly. You're right. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's not good.
What do you... I don't have a magic wand. I'm sorry.
We put the sound on. All right.
Yep.
I think we're good, man.
Ready
It's
to
an
rock?
Yep.
hour and 45
All right,
minutes. Ain't
guys.
bad.
We talked for 2 hours. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. I'm Bert.
Shaba.
Boss.
We're out.